Welcome to I'm Not Entering Great Bay Temple. This part, part 20 of Majora's Mask is a go.
You guys really don't like this temple for some reason.
No.
Well, more like, when you're doing things the way I do them, 100% and all that, there is a lot of things you can do between Snowhead and Great Bay.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm doing it all. Oh, yes, I am. Alright, so, we got the new way Bossa Nova.
We're going to go race the beavers now.
Yeah, we're going to go race the beavers. Oh, those
Okay,
beavers.
you're gonna have to explain that better, because that just sounds like an incredibly weird sex joke, the way you're talking.
No, it's not a euphemism. We're gonna race actual anthropomorphic beavers.
Cripes. I haven't heard that word used in that context since, actually...
The Great Beaver War of 37.
The 1920s.
No, I haven't heard it used that way since I watched One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That was years ago.
Oh, boy. Anyway, so our next... Oh, wow. Hi, Moon. You
Hello.
look really menacing with those red eyes, actually.
Thank you.
Do you have any clear eye?
I do, but not for someone of your size, I'm sorry. Don't take that the wrong way, but we're going to move along here, because in order to get to the next side quest,
Oh,
we need the hook shot.
Sake, you got eaten by a like again.
Didn't your shield just get swallowed? I don't know, you fucking tell me!
Add insult to injury, the stupid popping out of the sand thing goes after you the moment you land.
The Reavers, yeah.
I just called them the popping out of the sand thing, because that's what I've always called them since I played Link's Awakening.
If you're going for the dictionary definition, then yes.
I think they're described as assholes from the deep.
Well, just to put that into context, I didn't get a new copy of Link's Awakening, so I had no instruction manual to tell me what the enemies' names were, and this was the time before easy internet access to guides and stuff.
Well, Zelda in particular, the franchise in general, doesn't have very easy to remember names for a lot of enemies. Like
Everything has an os at the end, and that's all I remember.
Well, for the most part, yes, but bats are not bats; they're keys, and these 8-legged, well, sometimes 4-legged things are not what you would generalize as spiders, but tektites, and so on and so forth. At least with like the wolf enemies or the skeleton enemies, you can remember something os. Like Wolfos or Stalfos.
Yeah, well, in those cases, you can just call them the wolves or the skeletons, and people will know what you're talking about. But the popping out of the ground things don't actually have a direct analog to anything. They're just things that pop out of the ground.
They kind of look like jellies to me, as in the food stuff.
Yeah, but then you have likes, which look even more jelly-like. So.
And also the enemies that are called jellies.
Just never ends.
Good point.
It's a war of semantics.
Waterfall Rapids. Alright, so here's the thing with these two. You're not so much racing them, but rather, you want to make sure you can swim through all the little circles.
The rings!
Yeah, the rings. It's Superman 64 with better controls, a better story, better everything. Now that I think about it.
A beaver who's channeling his inner Miles Tails prower. Excellent.
Well, no, Tails doesn't utilize his tail when he's swimming. He just
Yeah, he
doggy
does.
paddles.
He does in Sonic 4 Episode 2, but I was talking more just the...
Oh, okay, yes, the submarine combo attack, you're right.
Just the propeller motion in general is all I'm talking about, though.
Man, these guys look freaky.
Is it their eyes?
Yeah, but also the spinning thing on their chest, too.
Well, that's their power source. It's an arc reactor.
They have...
Iron
reactors in
Beaver
there.
just doesn't sound very impressive.
He's gonna kick some serious ass during Infinity War Part 2, I'm telling you that much.
It just doesn't have the same punch that Rocket Raccoon does.
Oh god, trying to do this on anything other than an N64 controller was a nightmare for me.
What was it that gave you the hard time?
Wouldn't the GameCube controller be okay?
Mine was busted at the time, and you need
Oh.
a certain level of finesse to go through these rings properly.
Oh, is this like racing against that one shark in Mario Galaxy? You don't have to win.
It's exactly like that.
Yeah, you don't have to win. You just have to get all the rings. Okay.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. You're not so much racing as that you're just flying through the rings. Well, swimming through the rings, I'm sorry.
Wouldn't you want to do this before you did all of the Zora stuff so you'd have an extra bottle?
No, as long as you have 4.
Yeah, it's 4 in the hideout and then 3.
Well, still,
Yes.
having an extra would be nice.
It doesn't really matter, because you're going to have to make it 2 trips anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
well.
If you're talking about the feeding the fish side quest, I agree. But I did that anyway because it was on the way.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, but you do make a valid point. It's just that I did it out of order.
That, and depending on whether the other fish eats any of the fish you dump in, you'll have to make 2 trips anyway.
Exactly.
If you miss a ring, will he just make another one?
If you miss a ring, you do have to go back and swim through it.
Oh.
Because the other ring doesn't technically activate until you fly to the other one. You see how they're spinning like that?
Oh.
That means they're active. But you have this time limit's pretty generous.
Not so in the next one.
No, not so much in the next one. Yeah,
It's like the sliding races in Gravity Rush, only those control a lot worse.
you're playing this minigame a total of 4 times technically, because once you finish racing with him, you race against his big brother.
Oh,
Who gives
Phil.
you, a less than generous time limit. But sorry, I had a little coughing fit there. You play the game 2 times for an empty bottle. You play the game 2 times again after that for a piece of heart.
Jesus. It just seems like redundance to me. It seems like they want to keep you here for as long as they possibly can before your interest wanes.
Well, the time doesn't continue. Oh no, wait. Yes, it does. Never mind.
Yeah, the time's always ticking. It never stops.
Well, in dialogue, it does.
Yes, very true. Hey, feel like talking for 3 days? I don't know.
Don't feel like talking for the majority of Great Bay, mate.
Tell me a story you would tell your grandchildren 40 years from now.
I survived Great Bay at the end.
I think we can make this a best-selling autobiography. Maybe 3 films.
No, we have to make it 4 because the studio wants more money on the 3rd one.
Fuck
just
you.
Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah, we're just gonna chop it in half.
Are the rings in the same exact places?
Yes.
I thought they would at least vary it. Oh god.
Well, there are also more rings.
You have to do this 4 times?
There's, I think the first lap is 20, this one's 25, so there are more rings. And the time limit is not as generous. This one, you got a dolphin jump.
I would kind of appreciate this more if they just let you try going for all the rings, like the longest amount of rings in one go, and if you could get it all in one go, you could get all the rewards in one go.
Controller issues, though. I'd imagine with the GameCube controller, the only problem I had with playing this game on the Virtual Console, when using either the classic controller or GameCube controller, is the oversensitivity of the analog stick.
Well, N64 analog sticks aren't as smooth as GameCube ones, so I think that might be what you're thinking.
But I also think that's to Ocarina of Majora's benefit.
Yeah, because the games are designed around that.
Yeah.
Well, analog control in a lot of old school 3D games was a bit stiff in general.
I swear I heard the sound effects that younger brother, Beaver, made before in another N64 game, but I can't place it.
Yeah, I'm not showing you both laps again. No need to see that. Same thing.
It's the same exact thing.
Less time. But it's the same thing.
Okay.
Oh, so
There you have it.
you just cut past doing the whole thing over again. Thank
Yes.
you.
Don't need to see that 4 times. All right. Let's say we got this little mysterious-looking house here to the left.
No, we're going to the Gold Skulltula house.
We're going to our first gold Skulltula house. Yes. Now this is technically the second one because the first one is in the Southern Swamp. But it's already here, and I don't feel like going over there now.
Judging you.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what to say to myself.
So do we have to find more of these assholes here, too?
30, to be exact. Each spider, there are 2 in the entire game, and each house has 30 gold Skulltulas.
Oh, so they're all in one place, at least.
Yes.
Okay.
But some of them are pretty tricky to find. You really got to scour the entire area. But they do make that same rattling noise as previously, so you're supposed to use that as an auditory clue.
I actually got all of these assholes in Hyrule Warriors, and that was a pain in the ass, let me tell you.
I'm waiting until I get a pro controller before I go back to Hyrule Warriors.
Oh, no, I'm fine with the gamepad.
I don't know, it's just like your hands are spread so far apart, it's just kind of tiring to hold the pad up for that amount of time.
I don't get you people. I rest the controllers against my knees when I'm playing.
Same. But people just have a fondness for one controller type. That's why the whole damn GameCube controller thing debate exists in the first place.
To be
Weak.
fair,
There's a debate.
Weak, I say.
To be fair, I 100% in Super Mario 3D World using the pad, so that's my out.
Well, I would rest my controller on my knee, but I have a tendency of just randomly tapping my leg while I'm sitting down, and that tends to cause my character to jitter while I'm moving them around.
What are you doing? What do you got, Tourette's? No, actually, it has nothing to do with anything. I'm sorry.
Oh look,
Yeah.
that skeleton's laughing at you for doing the gold Skulltula mission. Like, what a dumbass.
He's actually here. He bought the bait. Now, the stall children in this place can give you some advice if you're wearing the Captain Kita mask.
Otherwise, can you just, like, punch them and they die?
If you want to chop them, you can go right ahead. Why would you do that, though?
They're
So-
evil.
You asshole.
So wait, hang on. All the gold Skulltulas in the game are in these places,
Yes.
and it's kind of like that's kind of like jeez.
They're consolidating.
Well, they kind of wanted to use the assets again, but they didn't want to put like 100 of them all over the game because there's already enough stuff to collect. So they just sort of put them here, I guess.
You know, but you know what that reminds me of? I hate to bring up Legacy of Kain again, but there was this one city in the first game. There are a total of 100 secrets. There's a counter of secrets in the game. There's 100 of them. 25 of them are in one place.
Because they just ran out of time or ideas, or...
There's this one city that you can only get into on the night of a full moon, and 25 of the game's secrets are just stepping on certain spaces as you explore the place.
We have 100 secrets for you. 75 are all over the world, and the other 25 are in this one chest. I'm sorry, we ran out of time.
That's a bit of an oxymoron, isn't it? A list of secrets. We know how many there are. Now go find them.
Okay, now you're hearing the thing almost as frequently as you do in Hyrule Warriors when you pick it up. Whenever you pick up a material, it's like.
Yeah, I did find that mildly annoying, but
Every time you conquer an enemy base, you just run around picking up materials and you hear the same jingle 5 times in a row.
I actually kind of like it because it's sort of satisfying hearing it cut off over and over again until it finally finishes.
I gotta say that this place has really great atmosphere. Picture, if you will, young Tom 64, who's arachnophobic and is asked to go down underground to a mansion of spiders, some of which are hiding and can jump out at you just like that.
now are you talking Zelda, or is this a real-life experience?
Well, I was wearing a green tunic at the time. My memory's kind of blurred.
Poor, foolish Tom. It was a simpler time back in the days. I miss those days. Back when my biggest concern was whether or not the Santa Claus was actually going to leave me something.
So how long did it take you to find all these guys the first time you went in here?
This right here, this was one of the most painful sessions to record because I'm ending it with a gold Skulltula hunt.
You sure that's not because you were just ramming your face into wooden crates just there?
Well, I'm personally not ramming my face into the crates.
I don't know, it just looks pretty painful to me.
The gold Skulltula houses were some of the most painful to memorize because there's only 30, but, you know, they're all in sort of tight ends, and you gotta, you know, for the sake of not fondling around too, you know, not lollygagging for too long, you gotta memorize each and every single location, and this took about, I want to say 3 attempts.
Also, there's a few light sources here, but unlike the other one, the first one in the swamp, this one's really dark.
Just in terms of, like, aesthetics?
Yeah, it can be hard to just, like... That, for example, I couldn't see at all during my last run of the game.
Well, because you also have this ceiling on top of it, well, below it, and it only has a slight opening in the very entryway. So you have to be at a specific angle to see it in the first place.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to imagine playing this on like my TV that I have. The one from...
Oh, the one with the
back.
brightness setting. How the hell would you ever do that in the first place?
Carefully.
That takes me back to when I had a Dazzle and I was recording Kingdom Hearts. Couldn't even see Halloween Town on my television.
Did it? If it's anything like Ted's TV, it had a brightness problem where if it wasn't a significant light source anywhere on the screen, it just got really dark.
No, Dazzle did make it worse though, because it dulls all the colors on the TV because you're splitting the signal.
The days of using brightness filters, no more. No more.
Well, no, it turns up fine for me at the very least on like the capture footage. It's just the TV that ends up getting the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
Oh, hello there, fat man.
I didn't use I used what was the name of it? 'Cause it's like the Mac equivalent. It's not Dazzle, but it's like Elgato RCA capture. But I don't like using splitters when I'm recording games for a commentary because I'll try and keep as much footage quality intact as I possibly can. So how I had this set up was that I had the N64 nested on top of my computer desk, the RCA cables plugged into the back, and I'm playing off the computer screen, which thankfully didn't have any sort of input delay or
Oh yeah,
video
because I was
delay.
gonna wonder because like you can't do that when you're playing Dazzle unless you're doing an RPG.
Yeah, you're telling me, mate. Like before I actually got a splitter, I was trying to play Kingdom Hearts 1 just off the capture window. Yeah, let's try and do delayed platforming, even more delayed.
No, I could forget it. Yeah, there was no input delay whatsoever, which is why I had no problem doing it.
I think I ended up like 7-0 to Riku in that race.
But that's also why, like, when I was doing tests for the Sonic-a-thon, shout outs to that, very successful. Thank you all for donating. Before I used the AverMedia to record Sonic Lost World, I was using the Elgato Game Capture HD, which has like a 2-second input delay.
Whoa, God! In a Sonic game? No, no.
I'm playing the game watching the TV, but I can't hear anything. The only thing I can hear is the audio from the capturing device, which is like 2 seconds behind, which throws me off like you wouldn't believe.
What? But the AverMedia doesn't have sound delay?
The AverMedia has sound delay, but it's only like half a second, which is bearable.
Yeah.
I can deal with that. But 2 seconds? Hell no.
And that's USB 2.0, right?
Yes.
Interesting.
So is there any other crap that we get for hanging out in here?
Nope.
Oh, and all of that was just for a heart piece.
For the Wii U in particular, there's something that you could do to alleviate that somewhat, and that's the Wii U can output through HDMI and AV, just audio, I mean, at the same time. So you could get a pair of cheap PC speakers and use headphones through those for game audio while you're recording.
This has been the tech edition of the Majora's Mask playthrough. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Oh, wait, you get a heart piece and the giant wallet. Okay, then it's worth it. If it was just a heart piece,
technically, you do the swamp, you do the gold to the house for the heart piece, and this guy just happens to wander in and give you a wallet to keep your mouth shut.
Okay, but if it was just for a heart piece, I would say screw that. But if it's for a wallet too, then it's a little bit more worth it.
Oh, I see how it is. Antom's just a guest. He can't end a bar.